All right. We got Connor on the show today on the Kitchen Growth Experience. Connor is from Woodio, a Finnish company doing something genuinely different in the bathroom and kitchen space. They've developed a water-resistant composite that they believe can replace ceramics entirely. And the bathroom industry is starting to take notice. So I first met Connor at the KBB Birmingham this year in a rather unusual way. So Connor, welcome to the show. I'm just going
Thank
to
you
rip
very
the
much.
band-aid off and ask this straight away. Why were you lying in the bathtub?
Someone asked me to. I was messing around with someone, and I can't remember how the conversation came up. And they said, I said, "Do you want me to get in there?" And they said, "Yes." So I got in there, and then I thought, why not do a presentation from the bath? So then I started doing a presentation in the bath,
It was
just so
perfect.
everyone knows I was fully clothed and the bath wasn't full of water.
Okay. Oh, man.
All
I'm supposed to
right.
leave that to the imagination. uh, no, it was really good. I walked past the stall and I was like, this man is dedicated. Yeah, we had a really good chat.
Yeah.
Your energy was epic. I don't, I think I just became a believer on day one. It's like, nope, I'm gonna, the next time I put anything in a bathroom, it's got to be more natural. It's, ceramic is so last week, Tuesday. Yeah. So Connor, again, thanks for being here. I
No worries at all.
got a couple of fun questions lined up, and the intention here is to, just to provide some value, some info, some knowledge, maybe some experiences to anyone who might be tuned in, to anyone who's in the space, and either looking to kind of expand their product range, or at the end of the day, just be able to genuinely offer something authentic, because I think that most companies have some smoke and mirrors, but I think that Woodio truly sticks out, and I mean that. So I think just to get the ball rolling, just a little bit of a backstory about yourself. So Woodio started with what your founder, I believe, calls a seemingly crazy idea. So how did you personally get involved? And what was your first reaction the first time someone showed you the wooden bathroom product?
Okay, so I first got involved. I got an opportunity through someone who was working on behalf of Woodio in the UK. Who's
Hmm.
been working for him for about a year, just sort of testing the waters, going around, putting some feelers out, seeing what reaction it would get.
Yeah,
I made contact. Well, we made contact with each other, and I went and saw one of the showrooms that were displaying it in London.
yeah,
And instantly, I was blown away just by how different it looked. How just there's never something new coming through the door.
yeah,
Like the last time that anyone's seen something completely new, not ceramic changed to this or stone like this. It's something that's never been done before. It's a completely new idea, especially to the UK. Obviously in Finland we began about 10 years, but in the UK it's something completely different. So that drew me straight away.
yeah,
I mean, the durability of it compared to ceramic is amazing. The fact that it won't break, it won't crack, it will stand the test of time, if you will. It's essentially a lifetime, a lifetime product. But then also the ecological side of things. I mean, we got an 80% lower carbon footprint than ceramic and stone manufacturers. Now, that's not a little number,
no,
Devon. That's something that we're creating a product with almost little to no carbon output at all. I mean, all the materials coming in are recycled and are waste materials that were getting sent off and burnt, causing more pollution. We're taking them all in. We're recycling them. We're upcycling them, making these lovely products. And then even after life, they can be pounded down and made in cement. So it's a full circle. So even after life, it's still again recyclable.
wow. I mean,
So there is
that's
no wastage whatsoever.
insane.
Mm.
That's kind of like, that's the pinnacle. That's the gold standard. That's gold standard. A lot of companies that are kind of pushing for, and from the outside looking in, you guys actually did it. So
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that the elevator pitch for Woodio sounds almost too good to be true. Wood that works in a wet room. Um,
Yeah.
so what's like the number one skeptical kitchen or bathroom retailer says to you? The most skeptical thing that they'll say to you, and how do you answer it?
I mean, one of the funniest things that someone always says, right, is they look at this, right, and they go, "Am I going to get a splinter?" All
Are they?
right. That's one of them. They're not. No. So although it is wood, all
Yeah.
right, it's a wood composite. All right. So it's aspen chips mixed with specialized resins that includes 50% plant-based resins. And this is put in a cold mold and cold press. We don't use any heat or kilns whatsoever. All it
Whoa.
does is it makes this amazing product that isn't going to splinter, isn't going to come out. Everything's mixed as a composite. It's compounded, packed it in, and you're not going to get a splinter. It makes it 100% waterproof. So you haven't got to worry about any of that. And it's also nice and warm to the touch, unlike ceramic that gets quite clinically cold all year round. It's going to hold the temperature of the room. So you're
Yeah,
never going to get a cold bum sitting on the toilet.
that's amazing. I'll make sure we just got a little picture of the product up on screen right now while you were talking about that, because yeah, I think that's everyone's first reaction. And I mean,
Yeah.
and on top of that, look, I know you've solved this problem, but I feel the need to ask is, you know, what's the durability like? Everyone, I think that ceramic is eternal, and wood is, it's organic, so obviously it would like degrade over time. Does the resin kind of solve that issue?
Yeah, completely. Because it's held in the resin, it's almost suspended in time, if you will. All right. So
Mm.
the wood isn't gonna rot over time. All right. Once it's in there and it's all compacted in,
Yeah,
it's not gonna rot because that is not now wood, that is wood composite. So
bang
it's
on.
now changed its form to something completely different. As I say, 100% waterproof, won't rot, dirt repellent, everything you could ask for from a bathroom sanitary ware.
I'm sadly never gonna look at ceramic the same way again. I'm just gonna, be cold every time I look at it. And actually, that was something you said to me at the show, wasn't it? Talk to me a little bit about like temperature, because nobody likes lying backwards in the bath and then sitting up and then so
No, and yeah, and that's a big thing in the bathroom industry is that
yeah.
every shower is got tiles on it which are cold. Every bath's made out of ceramic. Well, most of them, the basins are made out of ceramic. Now, for a basin, it doesn't matter too much, but for a toilet, everyone's gone to a toilet on a cold January morning and thought,
Yeah.
oh, that's a bit cold, or
Huh.
they've been in the shower and leaned against the tiles and thought that was a bit cold. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just completely solving that problem where
Amen.
wood isn't cold to the touch. And obviously the resin doesn't make it cold. So the wood holds the temperature of the room, which means it's not going to get cold, which means you're not going to get a cold bum. You're not going to get a cold back. And it will also hold the temperature of the water in the bath a lot longer as well.
Brilliant.
So less
And
heat can escape.
yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I'm low key jealous at this point, because I'm just like, that's what I want. I think the missus as well, because she runs cold, and
Right. Okay.
it's just like it's what she says all the time. So I'm definitely going to lock this in for the next bathroom build that I personally do. Um,
Yeah.
I also just want to quickly address the elephant in the room. Is like, I do know that this is a podcast primarily around kitchens, and you
Mhm.
guys are starting out in the bathroom space. Um,
Yeah.
what's the objective for expanding into kitchens in the future, and what type of products do you envision would be in the kitchen space at a point in time?
Yeah. So very glad you asked that question, Devon. So we are looking, well, we're in the middle of partnering with a company in the UK
Yeah.
called CD UK, who are a distributor, and they're a network of fabricators as well. Now, that's not going to be coming out until the middle of next year. So, all right, but we're looking to partner up with them. And what they're going to do is they're going to distribute sheets of the material.
Okay.
So essentially, you could buy whole half quarter sheets and you could use them for kitchen worktops. You'd use them for shower panels, and they'll also be doing bespoke units. So you can get bespoke vanity units made up. And now you could use that in the bathroom. You could use that in the front room. You could use
Mm,
it anywhere essentially. And obviously from there, I don't see why it won't keep expanding, and we'll bring out new stuff, and there's millions of possibilities that can happen with it.
yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Because I'd like, again, if once the world realizes that your product does what it says on the tin, I think they're going to want to carry that obviously from a design perspective, you want that to kind of carry through. um you don't want to almost neglect your kitchens by giving it something as disgusting as ceramic. Should I be so bold as to say? And now we might have answered this question in a little bit of a different way, but I'm going to ask it anyway, because I think it's important for our listeners and just for the world to know, like, the different types of challenges that you have with people when you're talking to them. Like, and I mean, ceramics has dominated, you know, bathrooms for over a century. We can go into some really old properties in the UK, and there they are, like hundreds of years old. So you're essentially telling the industry that its default material has a problem, right? So again, how do you have that conversation without people just dismissing the idea outright?
So that's it. I mean, we don't. I don't ever enter a conversation looking to take anything away from ceramic. All right,
Okay.
just to pretend as that ceramic's been around for a long time, and
Yeah.
it will always be around. I mean, it's not something that is going to come in and everyone's all of a sudden is going to go, "I don't want ceramic anymore." So I'm never going to come into a conversation and say ceramic's not good. It's not that. However, I will say the comparisons of it to ceramic. Ceramic can crack. It is prone to cracking. If you
Mhm.
drop stuff on it, it can crack. And the trouble with ceramic is once that happens, it's essentially finished. You have to go out and got to get a new one. There's no repairing it. There's nothing to do with it. It's done at that point. Whereas a product like this, it won't break, it won't chip, it won't crack. And even if you manage to scratch it, because it's wood composite, you can buff the scratch back out.
Just buff it, hey?
You can
Okay.
buff, yeah, so fine sandpaper, just buff it out.
Okay. And then this might be a weird question. You use the word repair. So buffing it, I guess, so crack free and you can buff it, but like if it chips, is that something you guys are also maybe looking to solve in the future with some, some like reparation sort of products? Is that something you do already?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the odd scenario, if you even manage to chip this thing, then there is solutions out there. There's stuff you can buy locally in the UK to just varnish to put over the top. You can buy the resin and put a bit of resin in there and smooth it out. So there's lots of ways to repair it. Once if you manage to damage this, it's not finished. You can repair it.
Okay. Okay. Good. I feel like you guys are seriously going to be challenging the market when it starts to take off in the UK. And that's honestly a good thing. I mean, we uh we live in a time where the world could use a little bit of love and could use a little bit of sustainable solutions. And I'm really, really hoping that you challenge the status quo in a big way, because there's nothing like healthy competition. I'm not saying that you should not be the only dominating force in the market, because if you pull it off, you deserve for that to be the case. But you might inspire other manufacturers. You might inspire other companies to see what's actually possible. Think like the Tesla of the bathroom.
I like that one. Yeah, I might use that one.
You can have it. It's the world. So I mean, you were at KBB. You were at KBB Birmingham, and I've said that, but that means you're actively going after the UK trade market. Okay, so
hmm
you mentioned a little bit briefly about reselling to kitchens in a year's time, but where are you in that journey, and what does a UK retail partnership with Woodio actually look like?
I mean, so a retail partnership with Woodio in the UK would be a showroom that's essentially displaying our products.
Yeah,
So people can come in, because I think the main thing with something like this, right, is you can look at this on a brochure
yeah.
and you can't understand it. You can't
Mhm.
look at something on a brochure and go, that's wood, I want one of them, because it
100%.
doesn't work like that. You have to come in, you have to feel it, you have to understand the product, because you're going to be skeptical. I would be skeptical if someone said, "Oh, do you want a bathtub made out of wood?" No, I don't want a bathtub made out of wood. But it's not just a bucket of wood. Do you know what I mean? You have to see it, feel
Yeah,
it, understand that it's a mixture of lots of different things, and it has that lovely wood effect to it, which
yeah.
is a massive statement piece for any bathroom or any kitchen, and has that massive, massive sustainable side to it as well. So as I said to you before, the KBB was massive. That was our sort of big debut into the UK market, showing everyone what we can do. And it was very successful. As I say, lots and lots of people were on the stand. I was non-stop talking all day for the 4 days, but it was brilliant because lots of people showed an interest. Lots of people liked the sustainability side of things, and everyone wanted one in their bathroom.
Good. That's what I want to hear. I'm one of those people. I'm not just
Mm.
saying that for the sake of saying it. I'm a pretty like natural dude. So it appeals to me. So I can imagine it will appeal to a large group of people. And you're absolutely right. Like seeing it in person is definitely one thing. For anyone who's just listening to the podcast and not watching it, and you didn't see the image of the product that we put on screen, like I highly, highly urge you to go to Woodio, .fi. That's WOODIO.fi, and look at the products, because if if you haven't, then you're probably just thinking like a whiskey casket or something to that
And that's what
effect.
I mean. A lot of people would just think something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and that I can
just a
assure.
bucket of wood outside.
No, and it's absolutely not the case.
Mm,
Splinter free, very smooth to the touch. Like
mm,
it's, the composite, I mean, it makes it feel like, almost, I mean, dare I say as smooth as ceramic or glass, but, with a little bit of a different texture, but it's
mm,
not textured at the same time. It's still like,
mm.
it's extremely smooth. So, yeah, whatever you guys have done, you've cracked the code. You know what I'm saying? You should take the recipe and do what Coca-Cola did. Like this director knows half and this director knows.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and I mean, coming back to a little point we made in the beginning, which is actually part of your intro, was like sustainability. And um, sustainability is, it's on every manufacturer's website right now, or most manufacturers are trying to put on their website, we're going green, net zero, all of that good stuff. But it
yeah.
often feels a little bit watered down, right? No pun intended. So Woodio is built from the ground up around it. Does that actually move the needle with UK buyers, or do they just want to know the price?
No, I mean, lots of people, as I said before, are very interested in the sustainability side of things. I mean, I'm seeing, especially at the KBB, I'm seeing a lot of architects, a lot of designers, a lot of showrooms.
Yeah.
They want to include something sustainable within their project or within their showroom. And Woodio is just a perfect fit because, as I say, it's not small numbers. It's massive. It's 80% lower carbon footprint. I mean, as I say, we don't use any heat, any kilns. It's all cold pressed. It's 50% plant-based resins. It's all natural colors and dyes.
Mm.
It's obviously a lot lighter than ceramic, so we can get a lot more on each load when we're sending it out to people as well. So then you're using less vans and less transportation.
Mm.
So a lot of people are interested in that side of thing, definitely.
Didn't even think about the transport side of things. I mean, that makes.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. With a product like this, there's lots of things that you don't think about until you start working with it. You're like, oh, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and there's lots of ways. And even, as I say, even the way it's recycled, like all the materials and all the wood comes from bioforests in Finland.
Whoa.
So a bioforest is they cut a tree down and they plant another one.
Yeah.
All right, but all the offcuts of the ones they are cutting down that we're getting off and wasted, they now coming into us, and they're in Finland, so they're all local, so it's not much transportation. And the transportation of that material to us is included in the 80% lower carbon footprint as well,
Mm.
which a lot of people ask. So all that comes to us. We condense them down into real aspen wood chips.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
and then that gets mixed with the resins.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, it's really, yeah. You just keep piling it on me. I'm like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no, it's good. I'm like, I'm like a meek
I'm trying
lamb.
not to go too fast.
Oh no, you keep going. Your speed is perfect. I'm more just like, with the big eyes, just like,
Mm.
wow,
Yeah.
which is so cool. And then what, yeah, again, this might be a silly question, but that's what podcasts are about, is for someone like myself to ask someone like yourself things that some people might be wondering. But what about installation? Comparatively to a standard product, ceramic product, same, easier, more difficult?
I mean, if you just take the
Yeah.
installation of it is the same. Okay, it's
Okay.
no different. So putting the toilet on the wall is no different from a ceramic. The basin's no different than a freestanding basin. It's
Yeah.
got screw holes on the bottom, so it's not just held down by the waist.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
it's no different in that regard. The only difference is it's a lot lighter.
Mm.
So with something like the toilet or the bath, it's a lot lighter to take into the house and take up the stairs. So it's easier in that regard, but you haven't got to worry about the installation. All that's the exact same.
Okay. Nice. So,
There's nothing different.
okay, good. I mean, and I got another question locked in as a segue, but to all our listeners who might be, getting a bit tired, if you've got a sore back, because you spent all your years lifting bathtubs and toilets, this is the product for you, and now you just carry this thing up the stairs, no problem. So keep that in mind. It will make your job easier. And in terms of sealants and stuff, is it just, standard product? Is there anything specific to like, anything that's like, just more cohesive with the actual resin, or does it, same?
All the same, same.
Same. Wow. Okay. So no special products required, no special tools required. It's lighter, it's better. Um, okay. Well, we really selling this thing right now. I'm joking. It sells itself. It sells itself. Okay.
It does sell itself, yeah,
Sells
definitely.
itself, which is really nice. I think that's also, which makes, and I can see the energy in your eyes and the excitement. Like when I did first speak to you, it's like, you're not really like, I've got, how do I push this thing? Because that's what KBB was about. It was like they've got a little gimmicky thing or a self-draining sink, which is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's like, it's not going to change the world. It's not going to move the needle. You know what I mean? It's like everything is almost like a nice to have, but this is like a want to have, if that makes sense. Which I think is cool. So yeah, it makes your job easy. I'll tell you that much. Um, which is a good thing. So, um, if you were pitching Woodio to a room full of independent UK bathroom retailers and maybe kitchen in the future retailers right now, like what's the one thing you'd want them to walk away thinking?
Oh, tough
It's not one.
question. Mm. I think, as I said before, I think the one thing that will stick in people's mind is the sustainability side of things.
Okay, fully.
I don't think anyone's gonna walk away not remembering that 80%, mostly because I like to say it about 3, 4 times. But other than that, it's, as I say, it's a big number. It stands out to you. You think of that and you go, "What, 80%, really?" And as I say, then you have the question, then they go, "Oh, does that include," like, there's lots of people at the KB was like, "Does that include transportation to here? Does that include getting the materials to you?" And that includes all of it. So with them asking them questions, it focuses on that point quite a lot throughout the conversation. So I think the one thing that they would definitely walk away with is thinking, this is a lot more sustainable than what we're already doing. And then probably second to best to that is probably the durability side of things. As I say, I mean, this one here was actually the one off the KBB stand. And you weren't here when I was doing this, but I probably threw this on the floor about 30 times over them 4 days.
Oh, really?
Because
Well,
I said to the Peter who came over from Finland one morning, I said to him, I was like, "How durable are these between me and you?" And he was like, "They're very durable." And I was like, "Yeah, but how durable? Like, if I throw it on the floor, will it break?" And he was like, "It won't break." And I went, "Can I throw it on the floor?" He went, "Yeah." And I'm like, "No, can I actually throw it on the floor? You're gonna let me do that?" And he said, "Yeah." So chucked it on the floor, didn't break, it bounced. The worst it's gonna do is break the floor underneath it. All
yeah.
right, so it came up. As you can see, it's not chipped whatsoever. I threw
Yeah.
this one as well. And then over the course of the show, I think people on the other stands were getting a bit fed up because they kept jumping every time I chucked the basin. All right. But every time someone tested me and said, "Is it actually durable if you throw it on the floor?" I just throw it on the floor because it really shows the fact that it will just bounce and then you pick it up and it's good as new.
Again, that's also a really good marketing take as well, if you're not doing that already and however your outreach is and however you try to sell the product to the world. I keep thinking about, as you're telling me this, that, that I think it's called the mouse case for the iPhones. And then you see all those videos
Yeah,
that
I
go
know.
up on
Yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
need
They
a mouse
chuck it off
case,
the
man.
buildings.
Chuck it off the skyscraper
Yeah.
or whatever. You're like,
Yeah.
whoa, I hope there's nobody down there. But yeah, so it's really, I think it's like a really different take on how to express the strength and durability of a product. Because, words are one thing. And nobody's gonna, just chuck it, put their own product on the floor to make sure you're not lying to them. So I think that's a really good take. So
Yeah. I
um,
mean, it shows that you can, they're not going to call you bluff.
yeah,
Definitely
100%.
shows
So
that
you
they're not
just
going to call you
just
bluff.
don't even break eye contact. You just look at them.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I literally would look at them and say, "You don't even throw this on the floor?" Straight over the shoulder.
Oh,
But
love it.
that's sort of, as you know, Devon, that's sort of my style of
Yeah.
selling. I'm a bit extravagant. I've been a bit flamboyant. I get that from some other salesmen in my family. But that's the way I do things. So I'm a bit out there.
Well, I think as a salesman, that is like, it's probably the best quality you can have because what is sales? What is marketing? It's just about being memorable. You don't want to like fade into obscurity in someone's mind. I mean, I remember the bathtub. Other people are going to remember kind of throwing the thing, but the key word here is remember, and I think you just like sticking in people's mind is like, we haven't spoken much, this is probably the most we've spoken, but I've got a strong sense that you're good at what you do. So yeah, you just
Thank you.
keep being that
I
person.
tried.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
trying.
Oh, nice. Well, I think like, the room for the people question, I think you nailed that. Knowing what I know now about Woodio, I think I'm going to agree with you. Probably going to walk away and just be like, the world needs more of these companies, you know, like I want to know that I want to know that you're not taking a tree out of the ground. I want to know that it'll still be there and I'll still get my product and there'll still be a tree in Finland. And
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? It's just like, there's just not enough of that right now. And, you know, to my point earlier, a lot of people say it, but you actually can prove it and it's in your hands and you can say, well, you know, this is what it is. And I think that those are the companies that are going to actually make a tangible dent in the landscape. And so I think you should keep doing what you're doing for John. And yeah, let me know. You're gonna hook me up with a good price tab in about 2 years. Okay.
We'll work something out for you, Devon. Don't worry.
So yeah, Colin, just for the little end part of the podcast, what I like to do is just do like a little bit of a rapid fire format. So here's some questions that you don't have to think about. You just have to answer them. Some of them are going to be super obvious. Some of them aren't. You know, answer as you will. And without further ado, let's go. So again, wood or ceramic? Settle it once and for all.
War on ceramic. Car, you're really throwing them at me, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that? Sorry, war on
No,
ceramic.
no, sorry. Wood or ceramic?
Wood or ceramic?
Mm,
Wood.
perfect. Finland or the UK? Who takes bathrooms more seriously?
No comment. I mean, I haven't personally been over to Finland, so I couldn't say. It'd be a biased opinion, but obviously, from my point of view, is you can United Kingdom, but only
Okay,
because I haven't.
it's a fair
I'm yet
answer.
to visit Finland and their bathroom industry.
That's exactly what we're looking for. So, what was the best thing about exhibiting at KBB?
Definitely, how different we were.
What was the worst thing?
Standing on my feet all day.
Fair. And sometimes if you
I had
haven't,
sore feet by the end of the 4 days. I tell you that.
me too, man. Don't worry, me too. I was up and down, occasionally lying in a tub, which a lot of people didn't have the luxury of.
That's what I mean. That was half the reason why I lied in the tub. I think that was the conversation we got on. Was I said that we haven't got any chairs to sit on the stand, and then I ended up lying in the tub.
Connor, you've been incredible today. Love your energy. I think you guys, you just need to stay on the path. I think like just keep doing what you're doing. You're truly going to make a difference. I'm not just saying that. I visited almost every stall at KBB, and there were not a lot that stuck out to me, and there were not a lot that kind of just like burned themselves into my mind as a memory. And I do think genuinely that that's going to happen to a lot of people that you deal with. So yeah, I really appreciate you coming on, and yeah, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me. It's been amazing.